Look at the cutaway of the new sheet metal that I'm going to put in on this 60 ragtop. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and get watching the 60 ragtop get put back together. That's this car right here. So putting all this metal in because it was toast. Here's the old one. Rusty, rusty, rusty. That side really wasted. So anyway, I had to take the one out of here because look, this one's beautiful, and the rest of the car was wasted because some other issues. So we didn't scrap a good car. I think if they're savable, try and save them. If you can't, then you can't. This one was one of those ones that it's definitely not a savable car. So anyway, let's look at what had to be done here. So I need these pieces right here, the lower quarters, and I need this piece here. And the problem is there's multiple layers. So you look at here, I call this the Jesus corner. That's the corner that everything butts into, holds all together, and then holds onto this heavier metal piece here that was rusted out on the other one. Okay, so I knew when I got to here I was going to run into some situations where I was going to have to get multiple layers going. So the easiest way was to go ahead and remove the section that I know I'm going to use, which what I did is to mark where I'm at. Be easier to line it up with the other one, is right here there's these kind of pinch for them. Cut myself really good on that one earlier today, just nicked it and it just pulled the skin off. But these things down here are different. So what I did is I cut it right at the very top edge of that so that I can find that space, because I'm going to have to butt weld this in. But what I'm going to do is I'll pop some holes in here, along here maybe a little bit, and then this piece I'll overlap. I'll probably have the new metal will overlap, or not, I don't know how I'll do it, but anyway, one's going to overlap the other up here. But this part needs to be the same so that the door shuts properly. So what I'm going to do is butt weld there, and then what I did here is I cut around to this side a little bit over here so that I can overlap, because this is going to be, remember, the old car is going to overlap right here. I can overlap that piece under there, butt weld this piece here between them, and then that'll keep the nice strength. And I'll put a piece behind to back it up, like right here. I'll just put a piece of sheet metal behind here and then weld all the way through, penetrate through it, turn up the heat and penetrate through it, and make that all one piece, and I'll spot weld those pieces in. That's the proper way to do these B-pillars. You know, guys go and butt weld the thing in, and you know, it looks good and everything else, but if you don't back it up with some metal, and that door shuts, you know, 60, 70 times, and then the weight of the car's on that heater channel, you know, you're probably going to have it crack out eventually. So that's why I'm doing it that way. So anyway, I mean, you can do it however you want. If you want to butt weld it there, I mean, it probably would be all right, but it's kind of taking a chance to me. I'd rather overlap it. If it was an insurance repair years ago, this would have been, you couldn't, unless you overlap welded or put a piece in there. Insurance company came through, they'd see that, and you would lose your contract, so immediately. So anyway, because it has to be safe. So that's my number one thing when I do restorations, is try to make it as safe as possible, because you know, obviously the car wasn't safe, you know, in this condition. Somebody drove it like that, obviously, until it didn't go anymore. Or maybe they just fell through the floor once and just said, well, I guess that's about it. Maybe I shouldn't drive it anymore. Somebody made it. They had to drive it until they made that decision, because there's no way that that just sat like that and was rusted like that. That had to be driving like that, the way the car looked. Anyway, so that's it for the cutaway and what has to be done here and what's underneath here. So if you have a quarter panel that you're trying to graft in, you know, a piece, a sheet metal piece you want to put on the bottom, this is what it looks like. You got several layers of metal right here. So you've either got to peel this skin off right here, which I could just peel that off, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a new little piece here. I'll just peel that off, then I'll make a little piece, and I'll just use that to bridge the two together, because I have to use the same, I'm going to use the same metal. It's better to use original metal, but there's no way when I've got to save, I can't butt weld this piece in all the way across. It won't match up. I want to go on to the original seams. I want this one to lay on top of the other one here, and the best way to do that is how I'm doing it. So anyway, that's it for the cutaway, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.